more creatures than spells. I'll switch those around there.
Yeah. Yep, so once again, there's that test, the Black-Red Zombies test.
Lyle's last name. Switch the F and the L. Yes. R-O-L-F.
So we have, yeah. Both these guys were figuring out their records for you here. Yeah, I believe this is still an undefeated matchup. Both players were 4-0, and I imagine both are now 5-0.
Yeah, you see, there's Lyle. After round 4 was in 11th place. We don't have the most recent standings. We've got the ones from 1 round ago.
Yeah, so if those of you following online, the stand right now, we'll try to keep you updated on some of the standings in here. We know that the links are broken right now on the website, and we are working on that. So we'll try to. If there's specific people you're wondering about, let us know, and we'll give you shout outs of how people are doing.
Looks like Zachary appears to be taking a mulligan, possibly a mulligan to 5. Check on that, it is 5. Mulliganing to, or either that or 15 because Jesse flashed his hand. Okay, I guess it's 5.
Yeah.
Not mulliganing to 15? Why not?
I would do that if you got to mulligan up instead of down. It'd be good. So the 4-color Reanimator deck, when compared to, I guess, it's kind of interesting in that it still has the Angel of Serenity loop in it. Angel of Serenities plus Thragtusk, so it's kind of has this really good inevitability thing.
Yeah.
The fact that it doesn't have Faithless Lootings or mana creatures in the deck is a little hard for the deck because it can really get stuck with uncastable things in its hand. If it draws too many angels in its opener, it can't ramp into them and it can't discard them, so it kind of just has to hold them until they're castable.
Yeah. Definitely can make for some awkward situations.
Right.
So, and on 5 cards, I think Zachary is ready. Okay, Temple Garden, turn 1 for Zachary. We can see he has Forbidden Alchemy, Cavern of Souls. I believe, is that Avacyn's Pilgrim and a Lingering Souls?
I believe it's a mulch.
Okay, yeah, he doesn't play Pilgrim, so.
Which is much better because it's one of the few ways where he can really get back into the, if he
draw some cards.
It's a good mulch here. He can have at it. This is a pretty scary hand against Black-Red Zombies. This doesn't have much going on in it. It's Healer, Farseek, Temple Garden, Ground Captain. Could have done worse. Drawing to, I think, a 1 would have been pretty disastrous.
Yeah, and that was kind of an unmulligan, pseudo-unmulligan there.
Yeah, it still means it's not going to have a real play till turn 4. The Drawing Catacombs isn't going to play tapped, unfortunately. But Rolfes didn't have the great start. So we're going to have Gravecrawler, and he's got to hope no other 1-drop. And it seems like no other, so alright. Alright, so we have
Gravecrawler from Lyle, and Zachary trying to decide, does he want to... Now, he could go untapped Garden Lingering Souls here, right?
He could.
But I don't like that necessarily. Or?
I think the two life is pretty big here.
Oh, he can go Cavern. If he could also play Cavern.
He could play Cavern to do that. I like this play the most because I think Forbidden Alchemy is really important right now. He's going to choke on mana a little bit, but that was bound to happen at some point.
So Gravecrawler gets in for the 2. The Temple Garden would have done to him anyway.
Right. So essentially, he's and wow, and he's got to be really nice. This is good. He's gotten actually an opening now because he'll know. I think he knows that Rolf's hand is just going to be full of big 4-drops. So now he has to weigh whether or not he wants to be alchemying or Lingering Souls, and while casting Lingering Souls while he makes more lands. The thing is, since he doesn't have a true sweeper, it's probably Lingering Souls. That's his best thing to buy time with. The only advantage to playing Alchemy here is he could find a Thragtusk. But he's going to go the Thragtusk route. So Hell Rider into play. Now we have some damage. He's going to swing for 7. Putting Neideigh down to 11.
Yes.
And very likely, I would think dead on the next attack. I have to think that between burn and creatures, if you're Neideigh, you have to know that between burn and creatures with haste, you're dead on the next swing. It doesn't, presumably Lyle kept the hand for some reason, and...
Yeah, it wasn't Gravecrawler 4 lands.
It wasn't Gravecrawler Hellrider 5 lands. Like, that's not really a good hand. So he kept Centaur Healer out of that pile. That will give him some reprieve. He can play a tap land and a Centaur Healer. He's going to have to just hope he draws into something good enough to cast here.
Yeah, so he goes up to 14 here off the Centaur Healer.
But he still may be dead or close to it, depending on the other Haymaker in Kyle's hand. It's probably only it buys him 1 turn at best.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to be able to maybe trade with the Hell Rider, but the Hell Rider's already done 2, or it's already done 5, technically, and it's going to do at least another 2 here.
And probably 3. So, Hell Rider, that's such a good card. I think really underrated.
I think it's coming into its own. I think people are really starting to respect it. Oh, it's just another Hell Rider, that's all. So now I'm going to swing for 6 with just the Hell Rider damage.
Right, so then he takes 5, so he'll go down to 3, even with the block here. So Tragic Slip, ooh, just for the -1s, Tragic Slip to Centaur Healer. Neideigh is 1 land short of being able to cast Angel and is at 3 and doesn't even have the Angel. I don't think he has a live draw here.
Yeah, we're going to be going to game 2.
Even Thragtusk is not enough.
Yeah, he's at 3 life, draws another Cavern, and I think we're going to have to go to game 2 here because he's got double souls, not enough. Like, he needs something. Presumably... No, I mean, there's just really no... Like, if he had been able to deal with the Hell Rider, like if the Tragic Slip hadn't happened, he could have played Lingering Souls and gone to 1 next turn if his opponent just bricked and had nothing, you know? Because he could just chump block with the Lingering Souls. But oh, he Unburial Rights on the Centaur Healer. I don't really...
I mean, he's still dead on the attack.
Right? Yeah. So he goes up to 6. He's going to lose 6 from the Hell Riders, and that's it. So, I'm not sure. I'm not real sure. Yeah, if he realized that, or maybe he did.
I mean, there's value to be said in making your opponents always do it.
Yeah, that's true.
The show me. I mean, I can't imagine your opponent will forget to attack. So maybe that's
draw, go. Wait, I'm an aggro deck.
Right.
So Lyle takes game 1. Capitalizing on Zachary's slow start and 5-card hand. And that's the double Hell Rider will do that to you.
Right.
It didn't look great for Lyle until the Hell Rider came down, but then when the second Hell Rider came down, it was way out of reach for Zachary, I think. So
one of the troubles with, the Reanimator deck, because his Reanimator build doesn't have any mana creatures or ramp in it, this matchup is very hard for him. Because he's never truly winning until he wins. Zachary's gonna play this game from behind the whole time. And the problem is that he really actually has to somehow survive for 7 turns against zombies. Which unfortunately, when you don't have removal, Hell Rider is too much damage to make that a realistic game.
Yeah. For sideboards.
Yeah.
It feels like Zachary wants to. Go ahead.
No, I'm saying he has a lot of. Go ahead. It feels like he wants. Yeah, I think he has a lot of good options here.
Yeah, but he has another couple of Centaur Healers, which are reasonable. I think they're pretty good. Those come in. He kind of wants to slim down a little bit. Like you said, he's playing from behind a lot already.
Yeah, so he has 4 Farseeks as ramp. I like that he has Supreme Verdict in his deck. He has 3 of those in his board. While it's not a card I love against zombies or burn heavy zombies, it's something I would want to see here. He needs to slow stuff down. I don't think Deathrite Shaman so much. I think he essentially wants to morph into a Bant deck. Resto Angel, Thragtusk, and maybe some Angel of Serenities. Take away the Crater Hoof, take away the trackers. I don't think we have time for this.
Yeah, bring in some Centaur Healers. He has 3 copies of Detention Sphere, which, it's slow. It's not instant speed or anything, but it's a 3-mana answer, and if you can just keep something off the board just for long enough to let your life gain kind of take you into the late game,
Right.
and kind of take over with cards like Thragtusk, and then eventually Craterhoof Behemoth and Angel.
I don't even know if I like Craterhoof in this deck, right, in this matchup, because I think you need something. First of all, he's one more mana than even Angel of Serenity, and he just doesn't win when you play it. Not like Angel.
Yeah, I can see that. I can.
So
I can agree
it's
with that.
sad, and it's hard to do because as a Reanimator deck, you don't. It's never fun to board out the coolest part of your deck,
Yeah.
which is the Reanimation Suite. It's probably still correct.
Yeah, he can definitely go towards more of a Bant control list with just some awkward cards that, you know, that are more geared towards his primary strategy that he may be dumping for the second or third game.
Sure.
Looks like we're finished sideboarding.
Yeah, from the Black-Red Zombies player, he does have 2 Zealous Conscripts, which probably come in. Outside of that, there's not too much he would be boarding in here.
Maybe we can get a keepable 7 from Zachary.
Yeah, and that's, you know, to be fair, he's going to have a little bit more, yeah, hopefully he can get a better draw. He needs something fast, you know. It's not the reanimation part of the deck that matters here. It's an early Thragtusk. You know, a Farseek into Thragtusk is what he wants.
Yeah, we saw, I mean, he had time. The window was open for him to do that last game. He just didn't actually have the cards to do it. Lyle had such a slow start with just Gravecrawl. I mean, Gravecrawl is not really a slow start, but nothing to follow it up with until you saw the Hellrider. So the window was kind of there. It's just Zachary wasn't able to capitalize on it. And then double Hellrider just sealed the deal for Lyle. I'm kind of surprised that card didn't see more play earlier.
Christopher Lewis, if you were in the hall,
Right.
please raise
Getting
your
that kind
hand.
of guaranteed damage just on attacks.
Please raise your hand.
The Hellrider?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it was a large player in block. It was, you know, and so there's specific types of decks that it's good in. I think, you know, the Boros second block, it's great. I mean,
Yeah.
that deck's token based. The card's phenomenal.
There's just
I think-
tons of attackers, yeah.
Yeah, there's only 3 Hellriders right now being played. I think a lot of it has to do with the size of removal being played too. It is a 3/3 for 4. It does have haste. That's pretty good that way. But
Is it like, what, Talroom Minotaur? Is that what that... Talroom Minotaur? Isn't that a 3/3 haste for 4, I think?
I think so. Yeah, I played him in one of the, I want to say Master System drafts. He was good.
Yeah. I used to play him in Standard.
Well, and you see this guy, and you're like, really? What the
Yeah,
heck?
I know. Why could I have had this?
This guy seems better.
Yeah, I was like mono haste, mono red deck. It was like Cicada Lancer, which is was the 2/2 haste for 3 with flanking.
He can turn himself colorless or something?
No, this is
that's a
just
different
2.
one.
Yeah,
No,
this
just
is
his haste.
yeah 2/2 haste with flanking, and then it was Talroom Minotaur 3/3 haste, or and then I had like I don't even know what the heck was on 5, but Thundermare was on 6.
Oh man.
The precursor to Thundermaw Hellkite.
Yeah.
Kind of did the same thing, except it cost
Alright,
one
so
more, didn't fly.
This time, Rolfes is on the 6 card hand. Alright. So, and Zachary, helping Rolf's cause, starts himself at 18.
Deathrite Shaman from Zachary and a Gravecrawler from Lyle's.
Life totals.
Right. The issue about Deathrite Shaman is going to be to find things to be in the graveyard. There you go. Mulch should help with that plenty. So Deathrite was a pseudo, will probably be, well, can't be a ramp spell here, but
Yeah.
And complete miss.
Whew, that's a
now
bad mulch.
Zachary's also on a mulligan. He does have an Unburialites and Centaur healer though, so all's not lost. I mean, just getting those guys in the yard is pretty good for him.
So Gravecrawler comes over, knocks Zachary to 16, and we have a Rakdos Cackler being
Worth noting,
unleashed onto the
Rolfes
board.
has drawn his main deck one of Mark of Mutiny. Should be pretty good this game.
Yeah, that could be really, really good. He needs red mana, but
Yep.
presumably he'll hit that eventually. By the time the Mark of Mutiny is going to be relevant. And we see Deathrite Shaman coming over.
It's not going to block. It's not going to be activated. Sure, let's get it in for damage. And Zachary's up to 20 more.
Centaur Healer coming over to get in the way. Playing defense.
Zachary does have a pseudo red source. He has a Cavern of Souls, which is not great here.
He's not going to cast the Mark of
it's not going
Mutiny,
to cast
right?
the Mark of Mutiny. And he's going to try to swing the key. So with Knight of Infamy, Lyle's able to make an attack of Gravecrawler. It's not. Lyle's doing a good job of not making his land pre-combat to really kind of bluff, like say he has Cavern and he wants to name Devil with it. It'll really change Neideigh's decisions if he does that.
Yeah. Give your opponent as little information as possible.
Exactly.
So he does play Cavern. We don't know what he named. He named apparently Spider in your mouth. Oh, is that Vampire? Is that what that was? Okay. I saw this.
Alright, Angel of Serenity drawn for Zachary. And this is the part about Angel, like about when you don't play Faithless Looting, that I'm a little less enthused about, is that the Angel of Serenity is just going to have to be cast. It's kind of a non-draw right now. And Deathrite Shaman is going to eat the Gravecrawler to gain 2 life.
Deathrite Shaman feasting on a zombie. That's the opposite of what normally happens.
And Neideigh has an option of Mulch or second Deathrite Shaman. Looks like he's going to opt for the Deathrite Shaman.
Alright, Lyle checking for a miracle. Not a red source, but a red card.
Not exactly. Less helpful.
Yeah.
Lyle's stumbling a little bit. It's not the curve he wants, and he knows that it's only a matter of time until Thrag Tusks start happening.
Yeah, I mean, again, we see Zachary with kind of a window, and in this case, it's actually a bigger window than last game. But right now, all he can muster is a pair of Deathrite Shamans. And that's just an attack with the Cackler pass.
Nothing else. Yeah.
So,
now Neideigh has all his colors. That's a 5th land for him. I believe his hand is Mulch, Angel. It's just the 2 cards. There's no Mulch there?
yeah, it looks like just Unburial Rites Angel.
Okay, so there was no Mulch there. So yeah, he'll probably just Rites the Thrag Tusk.
And that's what he's doing.
And he's going to get cremated.
Ooh.
Strong play.
So Cremate takes away the Thrag Tusk as a target for Unburial.
And the turn.
Yeah, takes away his turn, takes away his Unburial Rites, takes away his Thrag Tusk, and draws a card. So that was a really swingy little play right there.
A pair. So both the Deathrite Shamans are going to swing. It's almost like Zachary wants to race now. I suppose he doesn't have much of a better option, so that's why he's going to do it. The real issue isn't so much, he's fine trading one with the Knight of Infamy.
Which is what's going to happen here,
Yeah, but the bigger reason you may not want to do that is Lyle then gets to swing back. The swing back is probably not worth it. Lyle gets to swing back with 4. It's close. And another Cremate drawn by Lyle. That's such a timely draw right now.
Yeah, he only has 2. And he's drawn them both. Gravecrawler.
I mean, it's going to be really unfortunate because, we know that this Unburial Rites is going to get flashed back this turn. Looks like the 6th land for Zachary Neideigh. Remember, he has triple white, so after this land, he's only 1 land away from just casting Angel. What he can do here, he's going to try to Unburial Rites Centaur Healer.
And
he might eat it in response to stop Lyle from drawing a card.
He doesn't. Maybe he didn't see it. Yeah. Or maybe, I mean...
I think that would be the play. Not big, yeah, just to stop the card draw is probably worth it. Overgrown Tomb to play for Neideigh. So because of the cremates when their cantrip effect, Lyle, still with a full grip, amusingly enough, has not drawn a land and now has drawn Rolfes Messenger, but the Cavern is set to Vampire.
Wow. Not
I mean,
the type of.
I think he has the Vampire in his hand.
Yeah, I think he named it for a reason. So.
Yeah.
So Gravecrawler and Cackler come over, do some damage to Zachary, and another Cackler is unleashed by Lyle.
He's going
Death
to
Ray
eat
Shaman.
the Knight. So he's opting to gain life, so he'll go back up to 14.
Looking for a miracle on top. Found.
Land will do if that's a land, and I think it is.
It is. Looks like a green-black land.
Overgrown
Tomb.
Tomb. So he's going to have to take some damage to cast it.
But he just gained 2 life anyway, so it's just kind of like.
Just give it back.
Yeah. So here you see Death Ray Shaman attacking.
And I think Neideigh is not in the worst spot here. He's at a lower life total than he realizes. I think he's still in trouble here.
So he goes ahead and casts Angel of Serenity off of an untapped Overgrown Tomb. So it goes down to 12.
Lyle's board. Remember, Lyle with Mark of Mutiny, so Neideigh not out of the woods yet. See what Rolfes can find there. He draws his swamp, so he'll get Rolfes Messenger now. Or Vampire. I mean, it's got to be Messenger at this point.
Goes with Messenger, as you suspected.
Neideigh will go to 10. Remember, Rolfes Messenger will not be able to undie here because of Death Ray Shaman.
Only if Zachary leaves up the mana for it, which he should.
I mean, I'm not sure if Zachary will be able to spend all his mana, so
Yeah.
even if he wants to.
He had no cards in hand. I don't know what was on top. Looks like land, so certainly got the mana up for it.
So now, Zachary is in the awkward spot where he has to become the aggro deck here. He has 0 cards to Lyle's 4 or 5. Just like, leading Angel back to block is not a winning path.
Yeah, he could swing in for 6 here, take 3, go to 7, or he could end up taking 7 and going to 3.
Yeah, he's going to pass the turn. I mean, it's too scary not to. He knows that the 4-1's in Rolfes' hand.
Yeah.
It's the only reason that play would have made sense. It's that neither are good plays for Zachary. The 2 cremates have proven to be very timely. So, yeah.
Lyle's trying to figure out,
The best way to do this, I mean, yeah.
what is exactly his play is here, because he's got the Aristocrat, which he definitely wants to stick on the table and attack with, but does he want to wait for a window where, like, the Angel attacks? But if...
I don't think when the Angel attacks, if he waits until he draws a red source, then he can wait until the window where he gets to mark the Angel, and then when he marks the Angel, he can sacrifice it, which is pretty awesome.
We have a flashback to Forbidden Alchemy here from Zachary.
So is he just saying, did he just say go? I
think he did. So Forbidden Alchemy finds another Angel, I believe a Thragtusk, a land, and something else.
I'm surprised that he did not play the Vampire so he could set up Vampire Mark. And he took Thragtusk, meaning Angel.
And he's going to remove his other Death Ray Shaman to gain some life.
Alright, heads up play.
Yeah, so that was just a go from Lyle. And that's exactly what Zachary wants. If your aggro deck is just going to sit there and not attack or not cast spells.
I don't see why it's not playing. He's not playing something. He must have an instant that we're not seeing. He probably has instants in his deck. I'm just unsure.
All he could have is Tragic Slip, Ultimate Price. That's it. That's all I'm seeing.
Right.
Tragic Slip or Ultimate Price. So it looks like Angel's attacking, and it connects. So theoretically, not Ultimate Price.
Lyle's just drawing. He seems like he's a little gun shy right now.
So Zachary resolves Thragtusk, goes up to 17 after connecting with the Angel, and Lyle still looks like he has not drawn a red source. Now he's going to play the Aristocrat.
Right.
And it looks like he's going to swing out. It looked like he was about to, and he does. So Falconwrath Aristocrat and Rolfes Messenger coming over into the red zone, attacking Zachary. Zachary can block the Messenger here, and then when it undies, he can remove it with the Deathrite Shaman. So
yeah,
looks like that's the plan here. I don't know if Lyle sees it, and that, yeah, Lyle does see it because Zachary's pointing it out to him. I'm going to remove it. I'm going to gain 2 life. So he lost 4, goes down to 13, and gains 2, goes up to 15. Thragtusk goes away, leaving a beast. And Deathrite Shaman doing some work for Zachary Neideigh.
So as long as Zachary hits with the Angel this turn, then next turn he threatens lethal with the Deathrite Shaman.
Is that a second cavern?
It's a second cavern. Yep,
presumably on
this one's set to
zombie. Yeah.
And it appears... Looks like more lands. Yeah, they appear to be 2 lands in Neideigh's hand.
So
Yep,
Zachary's just attacking with the Beast.
The swing here makes sense because Beast swinging here with an end-step sorcery activation puts Lyle to 7, and then that means next turn Angel plus sorcery is lethal. So this way he gets to leave Angel back as a blocker on this turn, as opposed to having the Beast as a blocker this turn. The question is if the Aristocrat attacks, if Zachary is going to block. I don't think he should. I wouldn't.
Well, yeah, because you leave yourself vulnerable to Tragic Slip.
Right.
I mean, he's already technically vulnerable to Tragic Slip.
Yeah, Tragic Slip's on you leave yourself vulnerable to Searing Spear.
Well, there's no red sources. So, I mean, there is now, but it came into play tapped.
Right.
But, so still right now, no red sources. So, Lyle doesn't even attack.
That changes it then. Then Tragic Slip is fine. Then I think the attack is clear here. You're supposed to swing with the team. I think it's all of them that I would have swing. I don't see a way that Rolfes can kill him from 15. Especially not after making the blocks that he has to make.
Yeah, Shaman activated and knocked Lyle to 7 there at the end step, and it looks like Zachary trying to figure out, can I get through this Aristocrat? Can I get it out of the way and then swing in with the Angel? Not really. I mean, Deathrite Shaman can't successfully deal with it. He doesn't have any removal in hand, presumably. So he's going to go ahead and swing in. Falconwrath Aristocrat gets in the way. Sacrifice Gravecrawler, becomes indestructible. So Beast gets in, knocks Lyle to 4.
And that's really the only line that Rolfes has to stay alive. He's obviously dead to Deathrite Shaman next turn. So it's really... He's going to get one more card, but I don't know if there's a specific card that actually gets him alive. Keeps him alive. Markham... Alright, so here we go. Markham Mutiny the Angel.
So this represents...
It's a little too late, though.
Yeah, I mean, this will represent 9.
Yep.
Zachary is at
15, so
15 or 17 if he needs it.
Right. This is actually 10.
Oh, this is 10. That's right, because I forgot about the 1.
Brimstone Volley will become lethal here. I don't know if he has one, but that's a pretty relevant.
It would be
card.
lethal if the Deathrite Shaman weren't going to gain 2 life, but
what that does is it lets Zach Lyle not be dead, because right now he's dead to Deathrite, untapped Deathrite.
But he's just dead to Angel, right?
Right. Well, not anymore. The Angel's gone. because he's going to eat it after combat.
Oh, right. I'm sorry, yeah. So it looks like Zachary goes to 5.
And he has Searing Spear, but not Brimstone Volley.
He also could just be dead
So
too.
here's what you can do then, and it's a heads-up play. You cast your stuff, you say go, and what you're doing is you're trying to trick Zachary into removing a creature to gain 2 life. So say I just say go. Do you target my instant? Because if you do, I might Brimstone Volley you in response.
Right.
So then you might be like, oh, I don't want to get Brimstone Volleyed in response. I'll get my own creature. And then I'm like, haha, I'm alive.
Right.
So there's this game he can play here, and it's actually his only out is to do that because he doesn't have 5 points of burn.
So and it looks like
So that's what he can do. While it looks like he's dead on board, that's something he can do. And he says, all right. So now the fact he targeted that means Zachary's going to call the bluff.
so he's going to Searing Spear.
You have to Searing Spirit.
The Deathrite Shaman in response. So Lyle goes to 2. He did play a leashed Cackler there. It can block. It is not unleashed.
Right.
He played a
It's
Gravecrawler, which is Gravecrawler still can't block, but he did add that to the board. Zachary with just a beast and
Neideigh. That's not actually
he's got.
good enough.
Is
I
that a
think he's
Supreme
dead.
Verdict?
Yes, it's a Supreme Verdict. But it probably doesn't matter because of Falcon Wrath Aristocrat. It's his only play, so I think we'll see it happen. But I don't know.
Yeah, he's just gonna. Okay, so Cackler gets in the way of the beast.
Rolfes really just hanging on here.
And Farseek from Zachary. This is pretty close. Like, this is...
I think Rolfes has it.
I think he does too. And I'm surprised because it looked really bad for him. But that Mark of Mutiny and just that extra counter... but actually, since there wasn't a Brimstone Volley, maybe the extra counter wasn't as relevant. It was relevant enough, but not as relevant as it could have been with a Brimstone Volley. So there you see Supreme Verdict after the Farseek. Falcon Wrath Aristocrat is indestructible. Zachary's going to fall to 1.
So what Neideigh could do is he could dry Thrag Tusk next turn.
Well, what does Lyle have?
That will kill him.
Never mind. Yeah.
So Rolfes wins 2 games to 0. Pulls out a comeback victory, I would say.
Yeah. It didn't look good for him there in most of game 2. The window was wide open for Zachary, and for the most part, he did take advantage of it to some degree. He couldn't